Welcome, everyone. Here we are in the book of Zechariah again. We're in chapter 5 now. We're going to see how the curse is going to go over the whole earth. It's going to be very interesting. And the fact is that we've lived through a bunch of this now at this point because we're dealing with the mystery Babylon here. So I don't care what your level is, whether you are just beginning. Welcome to the Bible study here. So on we go with chapter 5 in the book of Zechariah. So here we go. Verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. Okay, this is the kind of roll that they used to ride on. Okay, folks, so here we have a doctrine. All right. 2, and he said unto me, What seest thou? Now this is the angel talking to the prophet. What seest thou? Prophet, question mark. And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Okay, so you take those dimensions and multiply those numbers or add them together in this kind of thing. Now, if we add 20 to 10, what do we get? 30 cubits. Now, how many pieces of silver was it there with Christ, with the infiltrator, tattletale, Judas? There is more of the numbers of the Bible. So here we have 30 cubits, if you add them together. 3, it says, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side, according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side, according to it. According to what? According to this curse. Now look, when talking about swearing here, we're not talking about foul language, we're talking about taking oaths. So there's a lot of evil when it comes to oath taking, and if you're in one of these evil cults, you'll be taking oath after oath after oath. And it's forbidden in the law of God. It's not something we should do. Christ said to make no oaths. So here they are making oaths. And notice the stealing. Okay? So what is this? What is this curse? Well, let's look. 4, it says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. So, what's said? These kind of terrible people, their house will be consumed. That was just said. By what? By this curse. Okay, now let's look a little closer at what this curse is. In a new paragraph in 5. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see what is this that goeth forth. Okay. So now the angel says, Look, you're going to see what this is. 6. And I said, what is it? And he said, this is an ephah that goeth forth. He said, moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth. Okay, the ephah is a measurement. It's a measurement used for weighing out substance, including food and everything else. So here we have unjust balances. And folks, we're getting that. Remember what we said with the raiser of taxes era in the book of Daniel. Because that has to do with usury. That has to do with being robbed. So what's he telling everyone here in this prophecy? All the swindlers that like to stample on people and not have any moral compass, that have stolen from people, including the unjust bankers, all the people serving the whore, will pay the price. The snake bites himself in the tail here. So, people, you're going to lose. I'm talking to the pagans that think they're serving the system and that this world government ain't going to get them, so they're just going to go ahead and keep their head down, serve their master. They're going to be robbed here. This is a curse, and it is a monetary system. We're looking at that right in the nose right now. This mark of the beast ID system, that this cashless system, is going to have unjust balances. It's going to have an unjust ephah measurement. That's why when God comes back here at the second coming, that he's going to make a just ephah. This is the unjust ephah. Okay, now in 7. And behold, there was lift up a talent of lead. And this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah. Okay, now lead is 1, it's a toxic substance. 2, it's not a beautiful stone to look at or anything like that. It can be downright ugly to look at. Notice this. The woman, the harlot, she sits right in the middle of this monetary system. That's what's being said here. And it's an ugly system. It's a system that will rob you and me. And it won't leave out all the piles of trash that are busy robbing their neighbors, that don't care about their fellow man. They're going to get theirs too in this prophecy. More description of this unjust ephah. And he said, this is wickedness. And he cast it into the midst of the ephah. See, there's your wickedness inside the balances, inside the trading measurements. And he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof. So that sure isn't silver and gold, okay? It just isn't. Now, actually, here in 9, Mystery Babylon has a symbol of the 2 cherubs lifting up the coin of old Babylon. It's very interesting that this description is here. 9, it says, then lift I up mine eyes and looked, And behold, there came out two women, and the wind was in their wings. Okay, that's the spirit world. For they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lift up the ephah between the earth and the heaven. So there we are. We got the harlot powers that be, the spirit world, the ugly spirit world, lifting up this unjust balance, this ugly monetary system. And we're in the middle of that right now. 10, it says, Then said I to the angel that talked with me, Whither do these bear the ephah? So where are they taking it? Okay, now listen to this. Think about the Tower of Babel, because this is a reference right back to Mystery Babylon in 11. And he, that's the angel, said unto me, that's the prophet, to build it an house in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established and set there upon her own base. That is the whore of Babylon. This is her ugly monetary system. This is the rebuilt symbolic Tower of Babel, and it's right there in Shinar, which is old Babylon now. It's interesting, as a side note, that we have our world's biggest multicultural embassy built right there after we did the first half of the Ram and the He-Goat, and now we have the giant embassy there for the world government. Very interesting, very fascinating. There is the ugly robbers monetary system. There is the taxing, goes right along with the raiser of taxes there, because inflation is done purposely, and it's there to rob you of your value of your money. And that's what this is saying here in Mystery Babylon. It's all around us, folks.